Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 9th, 2018, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, starting out earlier this morning at 4:46 a.m. South African time. Out of Japan, we had a rate policy that came out from the Central Bank of Japan, and then we had a press conference. We'll take a look at that later. And then at 8:30, they're going to have a press conference following the rate decision. And then later this morning, 11:30 South African time, coming out of the GBP monthly manufacturing production numbers coming out. Not such an important number, but you don't want to have any surprises, and especially if you do have any surprises, you want to know about them. So it could be an important number, and we'll take a look at the GBP in just a moment. And then lastly, we have the USD non-farm payroll coming out at 3:30 South African time. Now that's a very important number. We'll take a look at that. So let's see what's been happening in the market. So we're jumping here into the EURUSD, and a nice sell-off yesterday as we capitulated this move at 24.27. Really rocky, trading. Okay, there hasn't been that much follow through it. You could see that it's been very choppy, although the choppiness is still very volatile, that there's still a lot of money to make on the upside and on the downside. Okay, even if it doesn't follow all the technical analysis rules. Okay, there was no reason at 24.27 that it should have sold off, but it did. Okay, however, you did have a couple of breakouts here at 23.60, and then 23.60 on the downside. You had a couple of breaks out, which was really a decent trade. So we're trading here at 123.13. Let's see if this precedes the number. This is of course on the back of the ECB rate decision yesterday, a big sell-off, the dollar getting stronger here. So, there's a little bit uncertainty in the European market, as you can see. So let's see if this was just a fake out, okay, in anticipation of the non-farm payroll later today. A lot of news coming out this week, and it could be just that they're trying to whiplash it, try to take out as much volatility of the market as they could. Looking at the GBPUSD, also a big sell-off. Now, this was a giveaway. And the reason why this was a giveaway is that it did form this resistance here at 139, let's call it 10-ish, okay? And we did sell nicely to 138. That's a really great trade on the downside. And we mentioned this a couple of times that this was really weak, not really rallying when the euro was rallying against the dollar. And then finally, it took it down on the downside. So this would have been my go-to on the downside versus the euro, because this showed us that it was weak throughout the week. So looking at it ahead, we're at the bottom of this resistance, the support level right here at 137.90-ish level. So I'd like to see it bounce off of these levels, and let's see if it does on this level. Just bounce between this 138.90 and 137.99. So right here would be maybe a little decent buy. Maybe look to buy a little bit at these levels for an anticipation of some bounce later today. Looking at the USD Japanese yen, this is the first time the dollar's gotten stronger versus the yen in quite a while, and we've settled down at 105.59. So we've settled a baseline, if you call it, on the bottom here at 105-ish level, and we're trading here at 106.64. Let's see with the press conference out later today the direction of the Japanese yen. Looking at the gold, also sold off quite lightly, but again, it's been very choppy, and we mentioned this earlier in the week. If you were able to sell this at 113.39, okay, 13.39, you would have had a really great trade. Okay, there hasn't been follow through. It's been trading within these two levels, and right here on the RSI, you could see that as it faltered. Okay, this was a really decent trade on the downside. Looking at the oil, now the oil looks like it's forming a head and shoulders, or it formed rather a head and shoulder. That would have been the head, this would have been one shoulder, and this would have been the second shoulder. And that really is a perfect graph for that, okay, on the downside. So, the fact that it, broke this 60.98-ish level, okay, is quite important. Now the next support level is 59.93, and let's see if it does get that. Now, there is a little bit of a chug of war, as we've mentioned, with the price of oil. The United States wants to bring it down, the Saudis, the OPEC wants to bring it up, and so this is really playing out, and you could see that it's playing out, okay, because the graph is showing it to you. These are just not, a figment of our imagination that there's a head and shoulders. You could see clearly that there's a head and shoulders, and as such, just be aware of it, that it could further go down to 59.90-ish level. Now jumping onto the Dow, really rocky week for the Dow Jones. Okay, we had a gap down yesterday, and then we filled the gap, as you can see, and we're trading now at 24,889, just shy of 25,000. I think that the market is waiting for some sort of confirmation, some positive news to catalyst the market on the upside, okay? We're going to be trading within this range for, I think, quite a while, until we have some sort of catalyst, to give us some sort of indication of which way we think we're going to be heading. And I think that today's NFP is going to provide that for us. So at this stage, I'm quite flat, okay? It looks like it's making somewhat of a wedge formation on the upside, okay? Let's just draw that for a second. Okay, that's a flat line, excuse me. And there you go. But, I don't want to confirm this before, because it is right before the number. So just be aware, if you do trade the NFP, just be aware to put in your stop losses, to put in your take profits before, so that you don't get whipsawed out and you're booking your profits as you're going along. So, just be aware of it. It's a very volatile type of situation. So just please be aware of it. Secondly, just make sure to also move forward your contracts from Dow March to Dow June contracts, because they're going to be expiring as well. This is Fred Razak. Want to wish you guys a great trading day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.